And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of MLB DFS Quick Hits, your Wednesday, August 17th edition. We got a 6-game early and a 9-game main slate for you on this Wednesday. We'll cover both right here, as we always do. Hope you guys had a great Tuesday. Lots of action still going on as I hit record a little earlier than usual. So hopefully the info is still helpful. If you have any questions, I'm on Twitter at BDentric on the podcast. You can join us in the free Fantasy Degens Discord as well. If you have the podcast, rate and review on iTunes or Spotify, that would be great. If you're watching it on YouTube, give it the old thumbs up and leave a comment. That'd be awesome as well. All right, let's start with the 6-game slate here, starting at 12:35 p.m. Eastern, 9:35 a.m. Pacific time. Phillies Reds total of 9. Cubs Nationals 9. Royals Twins 8.5. Orioles Jays 9. Padres Marlins 7. So you can tell we got some offense in this one, boys and girls. So let's have some fun here. Your top price pitcher is Nick Lodolo at $9,600. I love Nick Lodolo, really do. He's facing the juggernauts known as the Philadelphia Phillies in Great American Small Park. So T's and P's, I will pass. You got Pablo Lopez at $8,900. He's been all or nothing, it seems like, of late. It's been rough going for Pablo. He's $8,900. You can go there if you want. I'll probably pass. Tyler Mahle, though, at $8,700 at home against the Kansas City Royals, does check the box. He dealt in his last start against the Angels, 6 shutout, 6 Ks. He has 5 or more Ks in both starts with the Twins so far, 6 innings in both starts. Big time upside here against Kansas City Royals. The Royals, they're sneaky. Mahle will give up the home runs, so keep that in mind. But they're still striking out 24% of the time versus righties this past month. They have that 151 ISO. I told you they're sneaky, but also a 98 WRC plus. So on this kind of slate, Mahle at 87 checks the box. George Kirby at 85 is really starting to play well of late consistently. It's been 15 plus points in 4 straight starts on this slate. That plays, folks. That plays really well. 2 runs or less in 4 straight, and 5 or more Ks in 3 straight. Going up against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, who have been better of late, but still over the last 30 days, striking out 25% of the time versus right-handed pitching, hitting 230 with a 91 WRC plus. So George Kirby on this slate is in play. The Clev dog, Mike Clevinger at 79, I like quite a bit against the Miami Marlins. Got back on track with nearly 15 points his last time out before getting beat up by the Dodgers. It was awesome before that 3 straight really, really good starts. He's been improving the pitch mix. The velocities have been getting better. So Clev dog at $7,900 against the Marlins, a team striking out 22% of the time versus righties this past month, is in play. So you're going to be able to pay for pitching on this, or hitting on this slate is what this comes down to. Other than that, I'm not really into much. So it's Tyler Mahle, George Kirby, Mike Clevinger as of now. Check lineups, getaway day game after night game. You might get some goofiness. But on this 6-game early slate, it's Mahle, it's Kirby, it's Clev dog. That's where I'm looking at things. Let's check out the bats, as there should be plenty on this slate. The Cubs will be in play versus Abbott. It's a great spot. So if you want to go Willie Contreras at 58, you can. Save some money at the position. Save $700. Go to Adley Rushman, who went deep for his 7th of the year on Tuesday. Gets Ross Stripling. That's an angle for you, too. But otherwise, if you want to fade Mahle, who probably will be chalky, MJ Melendez is $4,400. That's intriguing. I guarantee you when we get to first base, someone will be cheap there, too. In tournaments, though, Gary Sanchez versus the lefty Lynch at 28 is a very good tournament play. Loves pounding some lefties, so keep him in mind as well. First base position for you. You can go Shohei anytime you want. Vladito hit his 26th of the year on Tuesday, and he gets to face Voth, who is it's a great spot there for the Jays. Once again, Patrick Wisdom's fine if you prefer. I like him versus lefties, but he's just fine. He hits righties. He's got a power hitter, so it doesn't really matter, but that's where I would look on that one. Reese's Piece is double donged on Tuesday, which is beautiful. He's $4,200 versus Lodolo if you want to fade Lodolo, who I'm a big fan of, but he's been scuffling a bit of late. He doesn't go that deep into games because he walks too many guys at times, which means a lot of Reds bullpen, so the Phillies could be kind of a sneakier look, and they're red hot, and Rhys Hoskins is a big reason why. Going below 4K, though, Luke Voit versus the lefty Smiley is definitely in play. Love Jose Miranda. They just don't change his price. He's $3,700 again. He's first base, third base against Daniel Lynch. Really good tournament type play. You got Menzies of the Washington first base outfield, 35. So a couple nice discounts there at the first base position. Oh, wait for it, folks. Wait for it. They raised his price. He's still $2,300. He's too cheap. He went from 21 to 23. Good old Vinny P. Italian beef. It's Italian breakfast on Wednesday, though. Vinny P is $2,300 versus Tyler Mahle. That's still a phenomenal play. Like, really, really good play. Second base position for you here. John Birdie's back. Morel's fine if you want to pay up, but I like the idea of Jonathan India. He went deep on Tuesday. He's $4,700 versus Ranger Suarez. And Suarez has been better. He's been working with the pitch mixes, but give me some Great American Small Park when you need to. I'm always a fan of that. Gene Segura's back. Luis Griffo went deep off of Robbie Ray in his first at bat on Tuesday. So you can go hit Ring Giffo if you want. But it's a rough second base position. Like Nick Madrigal at $2,800, he just doesn't do a ton. He has to like get you 3 or 4 hits to be productive for the day. So you kind of want to pay up like India, Morel, maybe Segura, Rengifo. It's not the best second base position today. Third base position, though, you got Manny Machado at any time, but Matt Chapman at 49 is a really good pay up spot with Voth. I like that quite a bit. If you are fading Lodolo, Alec Baum's 41. You can look that direction. Jose Miranda still 37. That's outstanding. I really like some Miranda at that price point when you're looking for some upside plays at the positions. Then, other than that, nothing standing out in a big way. Shortstop on this 6-game early slate for you. Bubba Shed is up to 5,100, folks. He's made it. He's back in the 5K world. You guys, we had our fun. We had our fun. Now there's at least a conversation to be had every day. On this slate, 51 still works for Bo. But be careful. He was hitting 7th on Tuesday. If it was one thing he was hitting 5th. That was fine. He keeps dropping down the order. It's a little more tough to pay the high price tag. But you can go Bichette, but in reality, Correa at 46 loves left-handed pitching. Should be a good spot there versus Daniel Lynch. I'm guessing the Twins will be pretty popular. Jorge Mateo versus pitch to contact Ross Stripling at 38 is a good price tag. Bryson Stott's been feeling it of late. Nick Maton as well. A couple of cheaper Phillies if you need to see what the lineup looks like and see who's in. Could be a nice couple spots for you as well. Outfield position to wrap up this 6-game early Wednesday slate for you. Again, Ohtani anytime you want. Juan Soto due for a big one, but Buxton at 59 versus Lynch is quite intriguing. J-Rod's always in play, especially against Tuki Toussaint, who's either all or nothing. So that could be a fun one. But Anthony Santander at 52. Ced Mullins at 5K is outstanding. He went deep on Tuesday. It's a really good spot for Cedric Mullins at $5,000. Jerkson Profar's down here. Ian Happ in a great spot. Double donged on Monday night. He's 4,400 versus Abbott. That's a good one. I mentioned MJ Melendez at 44 as well. Jesse Winker. Don't mind him at 37. You to go Tawny deep on Monday. He's a decent little value in a tournament as well. So lots of good stuff here. Mean Seas for Washington is $3,500. First base outfit eligible. I mentioned him at first base. You can play him at either. The Franmil, I told you, too cheap. Went deep. Ding dong city. He's still too cheap. $2,900 for his Abbott. Corbin was just too easy, but Franmil's swinging it, man. He's playing really, really well since coming over to the Cubs. He still strikes out at times. That's what Franmil does, but the total package is pretty darn outstanding with the Franmil right now. So recapping the pitching right now, I'm just looking at Molly, Kirby, and Klevdog. That's where I'm at for now. And stacking it up wise, I don't mind a Philly stack against Lodolo because you'll get a lot of Reds bullpen, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Some Reds bats aren't bad. Like you could stack the game if you want, but I like the Philly side for sure. Washington versus Smiley's interesting, but I prefer the Cubs versus Abbott. Really like Minnesota versus Lynch, one of my favorite spots. Don't mind Toronto versus Voth. That is solid as well. And that's about it. So Minnesota, my top stack for sure. And then you can mix and match some pieces around that. All right, let's get into the 9-game main slate, the juicy evening action here. Totals we have so far: Rays, Yankees 8, Red Sox, Pirates 8.5, Tigers, Guardians 8, Mets, Braves 7.5, Rockies, Cardinals 7.5, A's, Rangers 8.5, Dodgers, Brewers 8.5, Astros, White Sox 8, D-backs, Gigantes 7.5. Pitching on this 9-game main slate: Scherzog, Max Scherzer 11-1 at the Atlanta Braves, and the Braves have been swinging it. Doesn't matter for Scherzer. He's just been dealing. Faced Atlanta 2 starts ago, 7 shutout, 11 Ks for nearly 40 points. He's got basically 20 or more points in every start since coming off the IL, with 3 of those starts with 30 or more. Scherzog, it doesn't matter who he faces. He'll have a rough outing. Everybody has a rough outing from time to time, but his rough outing is still 20 points. Atlanta striking out nearly 26% of the time versus righties this past month. They do have a 207 ISO, which is impressive, and a 111 WRC plus, a little above average, but they hit with a lot of power and a lot of swing and miss. So that's perfect for Scherzog. He'll give up 3 solo homers, strike out 12, and get you all the points in the world. That's what he does. So don't mind him at all at 11-1. Framber, kind of interesting in a tournament at 10-3 because no one plays him. He's got to strike guys out. And lately, in his last few starts, he's been striking guys out. So if you want to, you're super contrarian, you can go Framber going up against the White Sox, but they're only striking out 20% of the time versus lefties. They have a .091 ISO and a 91 WRC plus. They've been scuffling. But I feel like if I'm paying up, it's Scherzer, or I'm going to save a few bucks and come down a bit because I like Rodon. You could pivot to Rodon if you want, but he's just been so inconsistent right now, like really inconsistent. Did put up 20. I guess he's been better than I thought. Just watching him, I guess I'm just a cynic Giants fan. But come off a 24-point performance. D-backs are pesky. over the last 30 days, striking out 24% of the time versus lefties, which is intriguing. But they have a 139 ISO, 91 WRC plus. So if you want to pivot to Rodon, I get it. I don't know. I'm not there right now. That could change come Wednesday evening. But right now it's Scherzdog or we're going down unless you feel the need for some Rodon. Cheaper options, though, I will mention Cal Quantrill is $7,000, and he's starting to do what he did last year. Go deep in the games and strike guys out. He's gone 6 or more innings in 3 straight starts, back-to-back starts with no earned runs. He has 4 or more Ks in forever. He had 7 Ks his last time out, so 23 or more points in 2 straight starts. And now you get the Detroit Tigers, the scuffling Detroit Tigers, who strike out almost 30% of the time versus right-handed pitching this past month, hitting 208 with a .95 ISO and 60 WRC plus. So a guy like Quantrill at 7K is a strong value. Jomo, Jordan Montgomery at $6,900 at home against the Colorado Rockies is a great spot at $6,900. This is why it's hard for me to pay for Rodon, given he's got a higher ceiling than these guys. But they could match points easy. Colorado striking out over 20% of the time versus lefties with a 74 WRC plus this past month. So Jomo is in a really, really good spot as well. And then other than that, nothing really. So for the most part, it's Scherzdog. If you want Rodon, you can. And then it's Quantrill Montgomery. I'm going to keep it real simple, real tight. That's what we're doing right now. And that's how I'm rolling on the 9-game main slate. For pitching, let's talk hitting. Catcher's position for you. Yeah, Sean Murphy told you he liked lefties. Well, when I did the podcast last night, it was a lefty. It wasn't in the end. He still went deep. He's got a lefty in Reagan's at $4,500. You can pay that, or we'll get to a guy you can get cheaper on the Oakland A's later at the catcher's position. So I don't mind Sean Murphy if you want to pay up. Otherwise, save some money, boys and girls. You can go Jonah Heim if you want versus Aller at 36. Aller is not good. So Texas is 100% in play on this slate. But you just keep sliding down. Joey Bart entered Tuesday night on a 7-game hitting streak. He has not hit yet. It's the second inning as I'm recording. He's on deck, actually. So Joey Bart, $2,800, like that quite a bit. He's just been raking. Big fan of what he's doing. But the main guy, if you just want to punt the position, you scroll, and there he is. Langoliers is $2,000 versus Reagan's. The dude was crushing it in the minors. He got you, I think, 7+ points, if not double digits, on Tuesday when he got called up. He's $2,000. Phenomenal punt, all things considered. First base position, you can go to Goldie at 57 anytime you want. He's got Herman Marquez. But Pete Alonso, I think Odorizzi's garbage. He pretty much is. So $5,500 is a good spot there for Alonso. Matt Olson's fuego. Like if you're hoping for, I'm not stacking against Scherzer, but if you want some one-offs, Olson's the guy. Home run on Tuesday, 2 home runs on Monday. He's 47 hundo. So you can go that direction if you so choose. Or Dan Vogelbach at 44 versus Odorizzi. So I prefer Alonso if you want to save some cash. Vogie's right there and ready for the pickings. Then the mid 3Ks and below, it gets a little murkier. But you could look at Eric Hosmer versus Roansy Contreras at 31 if you like. I'd rather go Nathaniel Lowe at 3K versus Aller. I think that's a great value. Brandon Belt has been scuffling tremendously, but he's only $2,900 for Zach Davies. So you got that going for you if you want to look for another punt at the position. So a couple cheapies with Belt and Nathaniel Lowe at the first base position. Second base, you can go out to, I don't mind the Astros versus Kopech. It's just not one I'm looking to target on this slate. But I will go elsewhere like Andres Jimenez versus Daniel Norris at 5K. I just love what Jimenez is doing. I have no problem paying the price for him. I think it's very, very strong. But Marcus Semien at only 43 is a gift. He's been playing great. He's got Aller. It's tough to pay 5K for Jimenez when Semien's only 43. Like that's a misprice right there. So Marcus Semien at 43 is pretty darn lock it in and walk away. At the second base position, you can be different. There's no questioning that. But that's a hard, when you look at the potential ceiling for that price point, you ain't going to find many better at the position. I'm going to tell you that much right now. Not a whole lot better at first look right now. Third base position for you, got J-Ram at all times is in play at 56. Don't mind Devers either at 55 versus Contreras. You can go Austin Riley in a one-off if you want, but I'd prefer to go elsewhere. Like Max Muncy, lefty gets Lauer. I don't care at 4,500. Or you can go Justin Turner versus lefty at 43. Those are both in play. I like Lauer. I respect Lauer, but they definitely are in play in that matchup. Some cheaper options. Man, it's a bad position. Emmanuel Rivera, $2,600 versus Rodon. I like Rodon. That's a nice cheapie. Heimer Candelario has gotten quiet and hurry, but he's only $2,600 versus Quantrill. If you somehow need savings, third base is bad. Brett Beatty did get called up by the Mets. He's 2K versus Odorizzi. That could be a great value, as well as Freeman for Cleveland. He got called up. He's 2K. It's just that time of the year. We're not in September yet, but a lot of prospects getting called up. So Brett Beatty is an elite prospect. Watched him in the Arizona Fall League last year. $2,000 for Odorizzi, another great value. Maybe you just pay for Scherzer and Rodon and take all these punts. We'll see. Shortstop, you can go Lindor at $6K if you want versus Odorizzi. It's a steep price tag, but he's there. I prefer Corey Seager at $51. I'm really liking this Texas setup right now versus Aller. That's something I'm looking to circle on the map. Med Rosario, don't mind him at 46. Had a nice game on Tuesday. Paul DeJong's been swinging it pretty well, so I don't hate it if you need to go a little cheaper at 38. There's not a ton down here at the third base or shortstop position as usual, like Ellis Andrus. I'll pass. So not a ton down here. You're probably paying up at the position, or you're punting with like Nick Allen of Oakland is 2K. If you're just feeling like screw it, I'm punting. Brandon Crawford's down here at 2K. I know he's been struggling too, but he deserves more than 2K. Let's be totally honest with that. Outfield, as we wrap up this 9-game slate for you. Aaron Judge at 62 is just fine, but give me Mookie Betts. Give me Jordan Alvarez at 59 and 61, respectively. You got Starling Marte at 51, Brandon Nimmo at 5K. The Mets are a very good look there versus Odorizzi, so I like that quite a bit. I got a Mets. I just had it. Where did it go? A Mets Texas stack could be pretty fun as we look at things right now. Randy Arozarena at 48. I don't mind him versus Domingo Germán, who gets a lot of long balls. Tyler Naquin's only 46. That's one of the better Mets values we've seen so far. That's a good one, the way he's hitting the baseball. Kyle Tucker's down to 45. Don't mind that. That's pretty strong as well. You got Jock Jams probably leading off for the Giants versus Davies at only 4,300, if you want to look that way. But Adolis Garcia is only 42 versus Aller. That's a good bit of savings. So Adolis and Marcus Semien both way too cheap compared to their usual price points, and they get a great matchup tonight. Going down below 4K now, you got like Mark Canha's down here if he's in the lineup. Oscar Gonzalez at 35 is a good value for Cleveland versus Daniel Norris. That's one I'd circle on the map. Aledmus Diaz is down here for cheap at 34 if you need him. You got your Yastrzemski at 31 versus Davies. Giants are very cheap for Zach Davies. It's another way to look. It's tough to stack the Giants these days because they're so inconsistent, but you can get a couple pieces for value if you need it. If you do want to go heavy pitching on this slate, they are in play for you. And as we get into the 3K range, like Leody Taveras is down here at 26. He's been scuffling tremendously. Lamont Wade Jr. down here at 25. It just sucks. He's hitting 9th right now. That's kind of a bummer, but a couple of values there in those options. But other than that, let's check some lineups, see what comes out for you on Wednesday. Recapping your pitch, and you got Scherzer, you got Rodon. I prefer Scherzer easily, but both can be in play for you. And then it's Quantrill and Montgomery, so it's too expensive, too cheap. That's where I'm looking right now. If you're stacking things up, Pittsburgh is kind of sneaky, but it's Pittsburgh, so I'll pass. I like Cleveland a lot versus Daniel Norris. That's one I'd be going to. Love the Mets versus Odorizzi. That's another one. Don't mind St. Louis versus Ramon Marquez, but the Rangers versus Aller is a big one. Don't mind Oakland pieces either, but the Rangers would be a big one to look at. And other than that, the Giants versus Davies if you need it. But my main ones is Texas and the Mets. That's my main focus on this 9-game main slate. But let's get some more, folks. We got a 6-game early. Thanks for the comment in the chat there, Metal Alloy. Thank you very much. We have a 6-game early on Wednesday and a 9-game main slate. Remember the early slate, 12:35 p.m. Eastern, 9:35 a.m. Pacific time to get you ready bright and early. And then your evening slate, as usual, 7:05, 4:05. If you have any questions, I'm on Twitter at BDintric. Join us in the Free Fantasy DGens Discord. And if you give a rate and review on iTunes and Spotify, it'd mean a lot to me. And if you like watching it on YouTube, give it the old thumbs up and leave a comment. But for now, everybody, that'll wrap us up here. MLB DFS Quick Hits in the books. I'll catch you guys next time.